You are knowing what you are wanting. You like the feeling of desire. We've noticed that you like the feeling of desire when you are in the vibrational vicinity of your desire. In other words, when you desire something and you believe it's possible, then you like it. But when you hold desire and simultaneously the strongest vibration within you is one of doubt, then that desire is not so sweet, is it? Then you say, I was happier before I hatched that desire. Because a desire that you contradict, a desire that you oppose with your own thought. In other words, I want it, but I can't do it. I want it, but it can't be done. I want it, but I haven't figured out how. I want it, but when will it be? Where will it be? Who will it be? How will it come about? When the pulsing, chronic, most often vibration within you contradicts your desire, then there's a tug of war that feels oppressive to you. And then sometimes humans say, well, the problem is that desire. You're a greedy person. You have desire. You want too much. And we say, that's not possible. It's not possible for an eternally focused genius creator to over-desire. But what gives you the sensation of that imbalance is having a desire born from within you out of the contrast that you are discovering, and then contradict it with your rational mind. Contradict it with your reason. Contradict it with your statistics or your facts. Contradict it with your attention to what is. That's what gets you mostly. And what's so very interesting about that is that what is gave birth to more. And now so often humans don't let themselves go with the flow of the more because of what is. Isn't that interesting? What is and all of its components and the things that were missing caused you to launch rockets of desires of what you preferred even further. And those rockets of desires precede you vibrationally, and the source within you holds them and gives undivided attention to them. And law of attraction, in the same way that your world was formed first from thought, and then it became thought form, and then it became the matter, the material world that you see. In the same way, these rockets that you've launched forward, the source within you is giving undivided attention to, and there is a vibrational reality that does exist that holds fast to the desire that you gave birth to. And that desire continues to be amended by you as you move through the days and experiences of your life. You continue to add more clarity, more deliberateness, more precision to the things that you are asking for. And that vibrational reality precedes you and exists. Sometimes we can feel our physical friends not being nearly as excited about their vibrational reality as we are. Because we believe it, we know it, and so it is vibrationally visible to us. We're not off the wavelength of it. So when you dream a dream, when you hope a hope, when you desire a desire, when you set a goal, when life causes you to ask, we see clearly what you've asked for. But it's not just a nebulous request, unanswered, floating out there in the cosmos. When you ask, all that is actualizes around it, and it becomes a vivid vibrational version of what you are asking for. That is real. It's real. Everything that you know that you call reality was a vibrational reality first. And what makes a vibrational reality become vivid enough that you then call it reality, where you can take it to the bank and spend it, or take it to your bed and sleep with it. In other words, when you allow the vibrational reality to become real by no longer contradicting it with your thoughts of doubt, or your thoughts of, well, this is all that I can see, this is all that the statistics show me, my bank balance is this, not that. And we say, you deprive yourself of moving toward and the delicious discovery of the ever unfolding of that what you've asked for. And the thing that we so want you to hear most of all is that the life you came to live is the life that is between your having launched your reality and your letting yourself move to it, because that's the delicious part of life. When you allow yourself to hope, and then you allow yourself to believe, and then you come to know, during that transition of a little resistant thought to a little less resistant thought to no resistant thought, during that transition where you allow the actualization, you allow the circumstances and events to be shown to you, that is the sweetest part of life, and that's what you came forth to live. You said, I'll go forth. Contrast will inspire me. Source will tend to the desire that is carved out of that, and I will follow the emotion within me to know whether I'm moving toward or away from, whether I'm releasing resistance or adding to it, whether I'm allowing or resisting, whether I'm in the flow or not, whether I'm allowing myself into this vortex of vibrational reality that has been gathered for me. So as you realize that this vibrational reality, when you realize that this vibrational reality is a vortex of attraction, you've been hearing about law of attraction, but most of you do not understand that you were vibrational beings before you came forth into this physical body, and even though you are now focused a part of that into this physical body, that this vibrational part of you, this larger part of you, this source energy part of you, this inner being part of you, this God force part of you remains still non-physically focused while you're here physically focused. So at all times there is this vibrational relationship that you've got going on. When you are in vibrational harmony with who you really are, you feel the harmony in the form of what you call positive emotions. A feeling of love is that alignment. A feeling of appreciation is that alignment. A feeling of ecstasy or exhilaration, those feelings of passion, that feeling of being tuned in, tapped in, turned on, that feeling of being alive and glad to be alive. Those feelings are your emotional guidance letting you know that the vibrational relationship between the larger vibration of you and this smaller physical vibration of you match. And when they match, your positive emotion shows you. Any negative emotion shows you there's some mismatching going on. When you are hating someone, you're really a mismatch from the love that the source within you is feeling toward that very one. And you say, well, right there, Abraham, there's something pretty screwy about my inner being. Why would my inner being love the likes of that? And we say, because your inner being is love, and your inner being is tuned to love, and your inner being is the touchstone, the standard, the source, the calling home of you. Your inner being is pure positive energy. Well, if my inner being is pure positive energy, and I was my inner being before I was born here into this physical body, and now I'm in this physical body, I find reasons to hate. Tell me again, why'd I come? Why would I subject myself to an environment where I would see bad things? And we say, because you are the leading edge creative part of this all that is, who said, I will go forth and explore the contrast, and from it I will see what I like and I will see what I don't like, and I will eternally ever be asking for something improved. Even one-celled organisms are doing that. All species evolve from their exposure to life and their request for more. But the part that so many have forgotten, and we are here to remind you, is that when life causes that request to be born within you, whether you speak it in words or not, you emanate a rocket of desire, and that vibrational rocket, that vibrational emission, that vibration is received by Source. And Source gives undivided attention to it, and now law of attraction responds to your newly amended request. And when you ask, it is always given. That's that response we're talking about. So now, Source, giving undivided attention to this that you have become. The question that we want to ask you is, where are you in all of this? Did you come along? Or are you still defending your reason for wanting it? Often, rather than going with the flow, with the idea of more money, you hang around in the defensiveness of why you need it. In other words, the difference between a problem and a solution is a very big vibrational difference. A question and an answer is a very big vibrational difference. Your need is a very, very different vibration than your want or your desire. So your emotions let you know how you're doing about this. But meanwhile, regardless of how you're doing, now that you've launched it, Source is on it. And Law of Attraction is responding to this powerful request. And this is the part that we so want you to hear. All cooperative components are being gathered by Law of Attraction into this vortex, into this vibrational reality, into this vortex of creation. All cooperative components are already there. The question is, are you one of them? If you're complaining, the answer is no. If you're worried, the answer is no. If you're angry, the answer is no. If you're frustrated, the answer is no. If you're overwhelmed, the answer is no. If you're feeling defensive, if you're blameful, if you're justifying why you need it, the answer is no. If you're hopeful, the answer is you're on the brink of it. So during this gathering today, we want to speak in a way that you can feel as we feel and know as we know the reality of this vibrational reality. We want you to feel this vortex, and we want you to know its realness, and we want you, it is our desire to light a spark within you that makes you decide that you want to get in the vortex, that you want to be one of those cooperative components. Now, it's perfectly possible, may happen to you often. We see it happen to Esther, where you're bipping along, you're finding reasons to feel good, you're launching rockets of desire, and you're mostly in the vortex. And life is sweet when you are. People are kind to you, doors are opening for you, ideas are flowing, you have a feeling of well-being, a feeling of clarity and ease. You have balance. No matter what happens, you have your sea legs. All is well for you. And then something will happen that causes an reactivation of an old, maybe dormant vibration within you. Something happens, and you view it, which causes you to offer a vibration that isn't consistent with the vortex. So all that happens is the vortex just spits you out. Because if you're not a vibrational match to it, Law of Attraction doesn't hold you there. In other words, you're called there. Spitting you out is a sharp way of saying it, but it really is accurate. Because Law of Attraction calls to it what matches and doesn't allow near it what doesn't. How about that? So if you are a vibrational match, if you are feeling worthy, if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling happy with yourself, you're happily in the vortex. But when you find a reason to find fault with yourself, out you go. Now, we want to present this in a way that you don't worry about getting spit out of the vortex, because you understand that this process that you are upon here in your physical body is 3 steps. You came forth to explore contrast. You came forth to know what you don't want so that you can more clearly identify what it is you do want. Without that comparison, none of us could move forward. So as you continue to add to all that is by knowing what you don't want, you're having a step 1 moment. And when you're having a step 1 moment, you're not in the vortex. Now, we're always in the vortex having our step 2 moment. In other words, when you launch a rocket of desire, you send it our way. And we see it and embrace it and know it and become a vibrational match to it. And as we focus upon it, now Law of Attraction, we meaning the larger part of you. Are you getting that? We focus upon it, and Law of Attraction responds to it, which means what you want is in the process of becoming, but it means something ever so much more important. It means you expanded to be more. And that's the thing that so many of you are missing in this business of creation. You think you're creating a car. You're not creating only a car. You're creating yourself as the holder of that better vehicle. It is you who is expanding. Life gave you the idea of expanse. And even though your ideas are about things you want or relationships you want, you are the expanded part of this. Can you hear this? So life keeps causing you to become more. And when you become more, the you that became more is always in the vortex.